Chocolate. I know you thought you were going to see Tracy, but she's not here today. She just spent 4 minutes. I am one of her 3 alter egos. She has 3. Yes, they like the Trinity, the Holy Trinity, but it's the Tracy. And I am Sis Chocolate, I am one, but there was another one. She is, what did we start with Sister Tracy? She is the one of us who is, she's the Bible teaching, the learning, the teaching, the meet the children one. That is that Tracy. Then she has a Wonder Woman. She is the one who likes to do everything. She is a go-getter. She's always after doing something the next best thing. And then there's me. Sister Chocolate. Well, what I come to do today is to just share with you, you know, the Bible says to laugh, and laugh makes a heart merrier and that type of thing. So I come to share a few jokes with you. Do you mind that? Just a couple of 3 or 4 or 7 jokes. Do you mind? Do you mind? Okay. Well, first I wanted to start about, I thought about Jesus, because this is a church, right? This is a church, right? Are we church people?
Yeah.
Do we love the Lord?
Yeah.
With all our hearts?
Yeah.
With all our minds?
Yeah.
With all our souls?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about what Jesus do. What does Jesus do? Jesus is a man who walked the earth and he saved my life. He died for me on Calvary. I rhyme. He died for me on Calvary. But I talked about if Jesus drove a car, what kind of car would Jesus drive? Well, clearly the Bible says the disciples were all with one accord. They were on one accord. I just thought it came through my mind. And we have a lot of things in the Bible. We don't always understand the Bible. There's so many things the Bible teaches. Some of us don't understand it. So, and also, let me tell you where I'm from. I forgot to mention where I'm from. I am from the island of the coconut. My daughter David is the cocoa. And my husband, he is the nut. He is the nut in the island of the coconut. But anyway, we argue sometimes about who made the coffee. Who made the coffee? Tracy, get up in the morning, I want some coffee. I want some coffee. I'm like, I always got to make the coffee. But clearly the Bible says, Hebrews. It's not to do the coffee, not every time, no. Listen, then I think about the teachers. Like that's Sister Annie Coleman. She's a Sunday school teacher for the 5 and 6 year olds. Wave your hand, Annie. Where are you?
Right here. Yeah,
there she is. Well, I'm reminded of this lady in her class. She was teaching her class, and she was teaching them about the whales. And she says, look at the whales are so big and they're so large and they do all these things. So little Susie raised her hand. Little Susie says, teacher, can a whale swallow a whole person? She's like, no. The green whale, blue whale, it cannot swallow the whole person. She said, teacher, the whale can swallow the whole person. She says, no, the whale cannot swallow the whole person. She said, well, the Bible says that Jonah was swallowed up by a whale. She said, no, Jonah was not swallowed up by a whale. She said, all right then, I'll ask him when I get to heaven. The teacher says, well, what if he's in hell? She said, well, you can ask him. Why don't you ask him? If you were you so smart, why don't you ask him? Okay. So here we have, there's 3 little boys. I call him Little Reggie. Little Reggie's the deacon's son, Deacon Reggie's son. Then we have Little Alonzo, which is the musician's son. Then we have Little Fred, which is Pastor Conroy's son. I just want to make a quick little joke with you. So there are these 3 guys that are arguing about the fathers make the most money. No, man, my father make the most money. No, my father make the most money. No, my father make the most money. So Little Reggie says, my dad scribbles a few words on a piece of paper, and then he calls it a poem. Guess what? They give him $50. It's like, yeah, all right, that's okay. But then Little Alonzo says, my dad, he scribbles words on a sheet of paper. They call it a song. They give him $100. Yeah, all right, well, I got one better. Little Fred here, Little Fred with the big hair, he says, well, listen, my dad scribbles a few words on a piece of paper. They call it a sermon, and it takes 8 people to collect the money he makes. That's the offering, that type of offering. But that's Little Fred. He's such a dog. But anyway, it's like today, the church has a community picnic, and the people come from everywhere. We bring our friends and family to the picnic. But Pastor Conroy sets out a plate full of chopped beef sandwiches. I suppose I say sandwiches. A plate of chopped beef sandwiches at this under the table. He says he puts a sign over it that says only take one. Remember God is watching. God is watching. On this end of the table, he puts a plate full of peach cobblers. Plates and plates of peach cobblers on the table. So, little Jeff Enders, he goes and picks up a plate and he says, get as many as you want. God is watching the chopped beef sandwiches.
We're gonna put you on TV.
I have one more. I won't take up much of your time. I'll have one more. Just stay with me. Okay. So, there's a little girl who asks her mommy, she wants to know about recreation. She sees babies and she sees pregnant women. She wants to know, where do we come from? So she asks her mom, Mom, where do children come from? So her mom goes through the story of Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve were the first man and woman that God created, and they procreated, and that's how the earth came to be. So the little girl, she was like, okay, Mom. Then she goes and asks her dad, Dad, where do babies come from? So Dad says, well, you see, back in time, there was this monkey, and then he evolved into the lion. The little girl, she's confused now. She go back and she asks the mommy, Mommy, why come when I ask you where we came from, you said Adam and Eve in the Bible, you tell me all that. When I ask Daddy, he says we come from monkeys. The mother says, well, listen, baby, listen, I'm going to clear it up for you. I told you where I come from, he told you where he from.